What is going on, everyone? Drake here. Today what we're going to go ahead and do is break down a super easy to run defense. It is going to be out of 3-3 over. Now this will be in the same defensive playbook that I broke down my previous $2-3 defense. So again, here are the playbooks that you can find 3-3 over in. Now before we begin, I'm going to go ahead and touch on my favorite abilities. Now, at your outside end spots, you want to make sure that you use Grip Breaker and Quick Jump. And then if you can fit Defensive Rally, put that somewhere on the defensive line as well. It's going to be very key for 3rd and 4th downs. Now, at my user spot here, if I can, I like to put Robber. Just helps with catching interceptions. And then at every other secondary spot here, you want to go ahead and throw Ballhawk. And then throw a Legion on there as well. So the coaching adjustments here, very simple. Similar to my $3-2 that I broke down. You want to go ahead and make sure auto flip is on. Put safety width to pinch. And then from there, you want to go ahead and select cover 2 shell. Now, the play that I like to use and adjust out of is going to be cover 4 quarters. But if you're not super comfortable with making adjustments or changing shells, this play will work out of pretty much any play in the formation. So if you want to go ahead and use Tampa 2, you want to use cover 6, cover 3 sky, cover 9, you can do whatever you really want here. It's going to work. I'm going to go ahead, though, and break down the defense out of cover 4 quarters. Let's dive into it. So here we are. We've gone ahead and broken the huddle. You can see that we have chosen cover 4 quarters. Now, this is a great secondary defense to the dollar that I dropped last week because you're still utilizing Grip Breaker and Quick Jump, but it's also a little bit better at stopping the run due to having 4 down linemen. Now, this defense is going to strictly be focused around stunts. It's going to be key to getting pressure on the quarterback. Now, the stunt that I'm going to be breaking down is going to be Right Pirate 3. So we're going to go ahead and just show that here. You can see this is what Right Pirate 3 looks like. Now, there are some other good stunts as well, other formation besides that. Some other stunts that I like to mix in Left Tom 2. It gets good inside or interior pressure while also still having contains on the outside to keep your opponent in the pocket. Now, aside from that here, if you want to generate some pressure on the left side, you can use either Left Texas Exit 2, or you can use Left Texas 2-man, whichever you prefer. Now, like I stated here, this is going to be focusing around Right Pirate 3. It's been very, very good for me. I've had a lot of success with it in games. All you have to do is set the stunt to Right Pirate 3, and then pinch your defensive line, contain. It's as simple as that. And then that's basically all you do for the defense. The reason why it works well is because this defensive tackle is kind of hovering towards the middle of the field more than like in a dime set. So he does a little bit better job of looping around and generating pressure on the quarterback. You can see how he's running around that edge. And when the defense works 100%, he's going to basically just scream around that outside and get pretty much instant pressure. Very, very easy setup. Pinch your defense line, says a Right Pirate 3, contain. That's all you have to do. You can see he loops around the edge like that. That's the purpose of the defense. Now, we didn't really have a good shell set up there besides just shade down match. But if you look at the replay, after they call hike here, he's looping around. And you can see he's going to make it around the end there to generate pressure on the quarterback. So the key with this defense is to make sure that you mix up your stunts. This is going to prevent your opponent from getting comfortable versus the right pirate that you're going to send at them. And if you send different types of stunts, it's going to basically kind of mess with the auto base protection a little bit so it doesn't always set to stop the pirate. That way you'll be able to generate the pressure a little bit more frequently. So we're also going to just show some shells that I like in case you are comfortable with setting shells in game. So aside from setting up the defense, you can see it takes like a second or two. You can run match stock like this. Some other shells you can just go ahead and shade down. Another shell that I like to do here is put a safety in a yellow and then go ahead and third the other safety, and I'm going to user the middle linebacker in the other yellow. You can go ahead and put them in a hook girl in case you want to switch stick around post snap. Aside from that, if your opponent is kind of throwing like corners that are like 10 to 15 yards, these hard flats may not do the best, so you can go ahead and put them in like purples. Those do a great job, or you can just individually set the depth of the custom zone. Very, very easy. You just do that by pressing the wire triangle, doing that again for quick adjust, pressing the icon above the defender, and then holding LB and going up or down. I love doing this in game. It just makes it very easy to adjust to your opponent on the fly and take away routes over the middle of the field. So if there's routes that you're hitting you with, or if they're like hitting you with curls over the middle, go ahead and adjust these zone depths and they play them great. So aside from that here, another shell that I like to run looks like this. You can do this, and then this guy you can man him up to the running back if they're hitting the flats quick. You can man it up to like the tight end here. It's kind of situational depending on your opponent's formation that they're coming out in, but the shells, I run them pretty much universally against any formation. You just got to kind of get used to the adjustments aside from that. So you can see here, this is another shell. It's basically the same shell that I just did, but just reversed it, and it's very, very key to give these different looks to your opponent so they're not immediately throwing routes because they know that they're going to be open because you're sitting running the same coverage. It's going to make them pause, make them hesitate a little bit, and it's what's going to make the defense very good, and it's going to be what gets you stops. So yeah, that pretty much covers it here for the defense. Just a general overview of it. Again, make sure you mix up your stunts, but the focus here is utilizing this right pirate 3 in order to generate pressure. It gets super quick off the edge here when it does come through. I'm going to go ahead and show it to you in action. So here we are just showing the defense in action. You can see with our first play, the defense tackle loops all the way around. Kind of a bad adjustment by me, but that happens. Now, this next clip here, we're going to just holler at the opponent. You can see we're already up 20, so we're giving them problems. But you can see this time we got two people around, one with the shed and one with the stunt itself. And then again, the same drive versus this person. You can see on fourth down, we're looping, we're screaming, and it's a turnover on downs. Now, the last clip here, it gets pretty freaky because you're going to see that I have two insta-sheds and then the stunt itself also loops around. So I'm getting basically three people at the quarterback here. And then he fumbles, and we're off to the races here for 6. So that pretty much completes the video here. As you can see, super easy to run defense, yet it is super effective. Basically just utilizing these different stunts and then using the pirate stunt in order to generate pressure on my opponents. I've been having a lot of success in seasons with this defense. I've been flying through games, winning a lot of natties, getting my team up. It was an 87 overall last week. We're 96 or 97 overall now, so we're moving along pretty easily. So if you have any questions at all with the defense, don't be afraid to ask them, and I get to them as quick as I can, and I try to be as in-depth as I can in order to help you all get better. So if you all did appreciate the video, make sure to like it, as well as subscribe to the channel here. We're going to drop a ton of content for the rest of the year here and going into College Football 27. We'll see you next time.